Hello, everyone. It's another lovely Friday night, and I'm so happy to see you here. We're so happy to see you here. So, without any further ado, I will let my cast go ahead and introduce themselves. Jordan.
Hello, I'm Jordan, or Upgraded Moon, and today I'm playing Private Archie DuPont.
Thunder.
Hello, I'm Alex Rubitsky, and I'm playing Private Broden Fink. I'm actually going to be I'm going to bring a little spice into it this week. I'm the Aussie in the posse.
Shut up. Hi, I'm Jack,
5 episodes.
also known as Split Guardian, and I'm going to be playing Private Jonathan Holder.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I am Atwas, and I will be your narrator for this evening. Now, before we start, we've got some fun little things. First off, baby, we made affiliate. That's big news. That's awesome. That means their little tip thing. You can give us bits if you so choose. If you don't know who to use your Twitch Prime sub on, you can use it on us. Get that neat little founder badge next to your name.
Yeah, please. There is the donation link to tip us, which this is a very important distinction. If you tip us at that link during the show, that money goes to the four of us. Yes. We get that money. If you donate to our coffee, we appreciate it. That just goes to channel funds. That is not distributed separately. So if you want to support the cast during the show, go to the donation link for Stream Elements. That is where you do that. Give us your bits. We need them. We might need them because we might lose our characters tonight and we need new character art.
Yeah.
We might lose a few characters.
If you don't help us do that, this will be the last episode of NGH if we all die.
So yes, thank you so very much. We greatly appreciate it in advance. You lovely, lovely, wonderful people in the audience. Other thing, our lovely friends at Session Zero Clothing have a pretty sick discount code to offer to our viewers. That's discount code FAILSAFE for a funky 10% off on your order. So www.session-zero.com. And I think that is what we have to cover right now. So with that being said, how about we get started? So, tonight, I'll say before we return to our units, let's begin with some words from the front.
Journal entry number 35. I have not touched my journal since the first time I saw the trenches. If I had a franc for every close call I've had while I've been out here, I would be too wealthy to send off to war. Wouldn't that be a dream? Not even a day after we were sent out on our first mission, we got wedged between Ottomans and deranged cultists. And frankly, I don't know which one would have had a worse outcome. We all held our own and fared well, but every time we have to fight, I feel like I lose another part of myself. I started seeing things, but I think this is just what happens with war. The easy part is out of the way. The hard part is sneaking into that camp and getting our hands on that spear. Fingers crossed that Solomon is not alive. I'm sick of the undead. Side note, we acquired cultist knives. Think it's skittish about them, but they seem to do a little extra work.
Okay. New day, new mission. There are dark places in the world. There are places like caves and catacombs that see little or no light in their time since creation. They are natural. There are places like sandy bush plains littered with tribal bones, or long corridors and old buildings that feel wrong. They are unnatural. And then there are places that are both. Dark caves full of old bones, crazed lunatics, and untouched effigies of foul things. We picked that cave over, and I can earnestly say that nothing should remain to stand the test of time. I hope artillery and erosion bury that place before my time on this earth ends. I don't care who or what brought those pockets to life, but I know that should I ever meet one, there will be no words, only the impolite end of a long knife. Holder's wary respect for the spirits is admirable but misplaced. Nothing here deserves respect. Only dust and shrapnel. I feel no remorse for whoever or whatever we killed in that cave. Am I wrong to feel no remorse for the Ottoman soldier I maimed or worse with that grenade trick? I don't know. There's a lot I don't know right now. But what I know for certain is that we are getting this fucking spear. And whatever that means in pursuit will be worth it. It has to be.
It's been a while since I've made an entry in this book. Truth be told, I almost forgot I even had it. Thought it might have been long lost to the waves by now. But I need a place to put my thoughts somewhere, and my kin got plenty to worry about already. Want to start by saying this. I like Bell. I do. Ain't much of a soldier, but he's a funny little man with lots of reading in his head. And yet I knew from the second I saw his eyes glowing once we gave him our report that was that. And now we're wrapped up in something far worse than we already were. Though I fear now with all that we know, there was no going back to anywhere. It's been about a day and we've already had an injury. Ron's got a look in his eyes that I recognize. Don't like it. It's the look of something wild, the look of a predator. And now he's started provoking the spirits, and though my faith may be limited, I see nothing but trouble coming from it. Archie, however, he seems to be taking things in stride. Wish he wouldn't encourage the lack of behavior, but I'm still thankful for the levity he brings either way. These are dangerous times. I would say I hope we make it back, but I feel like it invites the possibility that we don't. So let's hope the boys back on the boat got some extra brew to share. Not liking being so dry lately.
All right, thank you so much. So with that, where we left off was the sun beginning to set and the moon beginning to rise in the ridges and hills above Maidos, as you are all, if I recall correctly, doing your best to get a bit of a lay of the land, some investigation of the fort of Kilidbar before moving in and making any, hasty decisions.
Yeah. Like you mentioned to us off stream that it was like terrain, Midos, Kilidbar,
Right.
like in a downward kind of step. There we go on camera. And so yeah, can we what time is it roughly?
I would say it's probably getting around to be maybe 7 or 8, so it's starting to get dark at this point.
Then yeah, I think what we agreed to, I mean, boys, feel free to chip in here, but set up on a ridge line somewhere with a decent overlook where we can, with the last light of the day, get as much of an overview on the fort itself and all the fine details we might be able to discern there.
Yeah, I think we need to get we need one eye on the fort, but I think we also need another eye on Midos itself to see if there's any kind of patrols going through it, since it's we can technically go around it and all that, but if there's any of them going for a perimeter, that's good to know.
Yeah, I guess actually a good thing to zero in on there is just in general, what kind of our means of access to get to Kilidbar there are, whether that's skirting Midos or something else, but general we're trying to get as much detailed surveillance from the light as possible, and then probably into the darkness just by just watching the fort as closely as possible in the town, what we're kind of getting here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, if I remember correctly, I'm sorry, what were you gonna say?
No, go ahead.
Okay, and if I remember correctly, I believe it was mentioned that the townsfolk do not like the Ottomans in this area, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's an oppressive occupation kind of thing.
Yeah, and the town is historically Greek as well, so they're not even really Turkish.
Mm-hmm.
So there might be
we could take advantage of that as well and get them to help us out if they'd like to.
Yeah, that might be a go-to. I think let's get some surveillance on the town and then and the fort, and then begin piecing our plan together with what information we get.
So, because you guys are taking the time, I'm not really gonna make you roll for it unless you want more specifics after what I give you. So, from what you see, Midos is kind of a middling-sized town, and Kilidbar Castle is, like you said, kind of on the coast. It is a very strategically important fortress. It's definitely got its cannons trained towards the water. It is kind of surrounded on all sides by either other buildings of the town or the sea itself. So if you tried to approach it, it would have to be either somehow through the town, or you would try and have to figure out a way to get up there through the seafront. Either way, comes with its own challenges. As for Midos itself, it still seems fairly active if subdued. You do still see what you generally think are probably civilians walking through the streets, maybe a little quicker than others would, but there are a number of a few roads that come into Midos, a few main roads, and indeed there are at each of these sort of entrances to the town a guard of Ottoman soldiers. Generally it seems to be only like 2 or 3 of them kind of at a post. You see I think a few times like an older car or something pass by. The Ottomans kind of do a cursory glance over the car, probably ask the person inside a few questions, wave them on in. So there are guards of some sort, but not too many from what you can see. There is quite a lot of activity. A lot being relative. From what you can tell, there does seem to be activity going on within Kilidbar itself, or at least on the walls, but it is difficult to tell specifically from the distance and also from the fading light.
Can we possibly zero in on the fort a little bit? Because you said it looks like there's like a main entrance to the fort, and then there's also possibly a seafront one as well. Do we see any are we able to like see within the fort itself, like over the walls very well? Any like fortifications, or is there like an old fucking sewer gate somewhere nearby? Or...
You are pretty far away, but I'll give you the general.
Even with our binoculars?
I'll give you the general gist of it, because the fort does rise kind of significantly above the other buildings. So you can see over it, but not necessarily all the way down to the ground within. However, it's kind of an older style of fort, very reminiscent of older castles. It's got the battlements around the outside, and it's got this sort of central building that goes up a few stories over the top. There are kind of patrols on some of the walls. Not really too many people. If anything, there are only a few soldiers here and there walking on the top. You don't see too much activity in the yard itself, from what you can tell, and let me actually check the time really quickly. You do see that... Yeah, so it's probably been around a few hours at this point. As it sort of starts going on toward 2200, that would be 10 p.m., you do see that there seems to be a shift change of some kind between the guards. And, what else? You don't really see anything in terms of like a sewer grate from the opposite side, per se. It's a little bit too far for you to be able to tell that.
Any other thoughts, boys?
No, not really. Other than like throughout the day, are there any particular characters that stand out in the town?
Well, we're here. I think I was just said it's like we got like a very small amount of light, so it's not like we're here for like the entire day. So it's like a couple hours so far. Yeah, a couple hours. Yeah. Any people stand out to us within the couple hours?
Yeah, I will say towards the end of your kind of surveillance period, there is a sort of a older car, like a car comes by down the main road, Chevrolet Type C kind of, and it ends up breaking down. You kind of see like the plume of black smoke coming up from the engine and the radiator, and what looks like a civilian gets out and kind of like kicks the bumper of the car and then lifts the hood and starts doing something under said hood.
Is this inside the town or outside the town?
Outside the town.
Oh, well, that's an
What?
inn.
That's a possible inn.
I also had an idea that I wanted to run by you guys. What say is the possibility of us like getting our hands on some Ottoman uniforms and then going in, besides just like the sneaking method?
I thought about that, and the first issue that comes up is none of us speak the language.
Yeah, we don't speak Turkish at all, but I feel like if we were just silent and walking with purpose, we would at least get a little far.
I mean, we would get somewhere, but like the second an officer goes, you know, what are you doing here? And we look at them like we're stupid.
Wee, you know.
Not even just a language thing. I don't think we know anything about like any of their military habits. We don't know, like, we haven't trained in their salutes. Like, you know, it's like we don't like, you know, necessarily
Well, I think
know.
that's
This is
why
the
we watched.
first
We
time
watched for,
you
like,
guys
little
would have
tells.
really encountered the Ottomans at all.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah, like I think it's a cool idea. We don't have any experience with how the Ottomans behave in their military hierarchy, and let alone their language. So like, on the one hand, like, oh yeah, we absolutely just kind of like walk with purpose and just fake it till we make it. But there's also the fact of we don't know kind of how they operate at just the default like tactical level. So like we could walk wrong. You know, it's like we could march in the wrong. I think a great example of this would be like from Inglorious Bastards, like in the bar scene when like the British are pretending to be Germans, and he orders 3 glasses, but Germans use 3 with their thumb. So like that's the tell that they could tell that they were spies. So it's like if we don't know a lot about Turkish culture, so we
Like,
that thing.
If we had more time to survey them and just like watch their patterns and shit, maybe that would be more viable. But it's already night.
I think our biggest strength is the fact that it is nighttime for one. So if we did get our hands on Ottoman uniforms, just as like a catch-all of like you know, for example, like I'm going to use media references all night. Apparently, it's like it's either Raiders of the Lost Ark or The Last Crusade, but it's when he puts on a Nazi uniform in the submarine that, or like in the base where he just kind of like punches you out. He doesn't even like make a show of anything. He just like kind of puts it on for a minute, just like walk down a hallway, and he just like fucking takes it off later when he punches a dude out. So it's like it might just be a thing that if we can acquire one, let's hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, I totally get it. Like I think like from a cultural aspect, Archie doesn't know anything. I just knocked out my fucking monitor cord. Archie doesn't. Yeah, I can't see any of this right now.
It's okay, we can
Archie
see you.
Archie doesn't, know anything about the Ottomans or anything like that. Which a part of me was thinking is like, okay, when it comes to salutes and marches and stuff, that could be something that we could gather while we've been, watching and surveying them. Of course, we don't have a whole lot of time though. So
yeah, I feel like
let me figure this out.
We absorb. Yeah, you're good. I think we've absorbed some good information. I wrote down that we have the guards of the entrance of the town, 2 to 3 Ottomans each, guard posts. A lot of activity going on inside the fort proper. If I think we need to investigate the seafront if possible. Like I think we need to get eyes on the opposite side of the fort from the coastline. I think that's going to be something that we do best when it's dark, so we can kind of like creep down maybe around that area. But also, I think we need to go talk to this person with the broken down car.
I think so too.
And like, it's like dark now, right? And they're pretty like far out from like the
yeah,
town
I'd
proper.
say they're definitely a lot closer to where you all would be. It kind of like the main road kind of just crested over the hill towards Midos, and their shit broke down. So yeah.
Here's a really important question that just came to mind. In our like couple of hours of watching Midos and the fort, have there been any other automobiles that have arrived in Midos that came through the town, or like exited or came through?
Yeah, there have been a few. It's been relatively sparse, and none of them have been military.
What was the reaction with them coming in and out? Like, what did the guards at the entrances do when they were?
They were kind of sort of like a cursory, like, okay, let me look in the car, ask you a few questions, wave you on in type thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Oh, go ahead.
if we could get on this guy's good side, there is a chance that, if he can fix the vehicle and move in. Like, my big thing, like, does anybody have decent smarts?
I have 2 points in smarts. So
So that's
like
a
2
no.
mental. So no.
Jordan, you're muted.
I've got 3 mental.
We're on the same page then.
Okay.
Yeah. None of us can help fix the thing, so that's an immediate out.
I got mechanics. Actually.
You got mechanics?
Yeah, I have training and a dot in mechanics.
That's actually super.
That's
useful.
incredibly important.
Dude, the way I set up Archie, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna use any of this, and I get to fucking use it. Let's go.
Yeah.
We could super get on his good side by fixing the car.
And okay, so here's an important question that comes to my mind. Actually, let me ask Atlas this first for a little bit of disclaiming.
Mhm.
In the dark, how difficult does it look like to possibly skirt the town and get to the coast to get a look around the base of the seaside of the fort? Like, is that heavily guarded too, or could we reasonably get
do they have
around over
patrols?
It's very remote. So in terms of like light or, being caught by populace or something like that, you're pretty much in the clear. As for the Ottomans stationed around the town and the general movement, you don't see a lot of patrols around the perimeter. It looks like most of the activity of the Ottoman soldiers is within Kilidbar itself. So it's just basically the road checkpoints that are being watched at this point.
Do we want to send you two to go meet with this local and work with them? Would it actually, narrator, would it involve a stealth check to get around to the coast and look around the opposite side of the fort in the remote area with this low light?
I would say either stealth or honestly athletics would also be an option, just because the seawall is kind of like rocky towards where so, and also just in the dark, that sort of thing.
I think here's something important to distinguish, and I think we decide if we wanted to do a minor group split, if we want to figure out the tactics of this. You two talk to the local and maybe get something going there, and Broden makes a run through the dark to possibly get eyes on any possible sea entrances in case the town proves to be awash. Because like, if we can, like, here's like kind of what I'm thinking, if there is anything seaside, this might be a waste of time, but I'm going to check anyway. Like, if there's anything seaside, we can possibly, once we get in if we sneak into town and maybe do some shit there, we might be able to get a distraction going there, split around, and then go in through the back of the fort. While if there is a back, like if there's like a sewer or like something that dumps out into the sea from there that we might be able to get into.
It's not a bad plan.
And it doesn't sound like it's super dangerous for Broden, because I mean, like, I have training in a dot in athletics, and I have 4 brawn.
Oh yeah, you're fucking speedy.
Yeah. So
I've got a pretty high communications personally. By like high, I mean like training in a dot.
Yeah.
So that's 4 dice to work with in terms of just like talking to people and convincing them of shit. But I'm also pretty speedy in and of itself. I've got a training and 2 dots in athletics, but nothing in stealth.
Upgraded that shit, huh?
Oh, you have a training in 2 dots.
What's your brawn?
My brawn is only 3.
Oh, so we match. Because you have
it's
the extra
the
pip.
same.
Same. Here's what I think. I think you two are the best choice to go with this civilian and like interact with him there, because Broden's strengths are like investigating and shooting and punching.
Yeah.
Like he's
doing the soldier shit.
He's the hunter, the soldier. You two have the mechanics, the stealth, the communication stuff.
I'm mechanics and stealth.
Yeah, I think you two go to the civilian. And then Broden's gonna split off from you guys, rifle, slung over his shoulder, get around to the fort. If there is a way for us to rejoin each other, we will figure that out there. Otherwise, Broden, I think, is totally fine with like staying on the outside of town and waiting for a signal to possibly do something. But I think there's a preference. We should try to figure out a way to like, because is this broken down car like within full sight of the town, or is it kind of like only we can see it?
It's kind of like it's coming down from the hills, and there's like another crest of hill, and then it goes further down towards the town.
So it's got some cover.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I will go around the fort. After that, unless there is some kind, I'll watch that hill or something, you know, and if I see that, if I see a car coming over that hill but not coming down from another hill, so I assume it's that same car that broke down.
Yeah.
Then Broden will assume that either you guys are going into town or something has changed, so he will kind of like wait for a signal you guys choose or something to like do something, or figure out some other way to get into town possibly. Otherwise, if you can like hunker down there in that little cleft for a little bit, he will scout and then come meet you guys. So I imagine repairing a car will take a hot minute.
No, well, okay, so here's what I'm thinking. If you want a signal, and you end up getting eyes on that car, if we help the guy out successfully and he's willing to help us, like we could have a set of signals. They don't have the car horn yet, do they? Do they have the horns
Yeah, they
in those
do.
cars yet?
They also have headlights.
Okay, yeah, and headlights and stuff. I
Yeah,
wanna
we could
avoid
have them
doing-
flash the headlights.
Yeah, that, or you know, kind of honk their horn like a person would at like someone walking across the street or something. Like one honk would mean this,
Like
two
like a
honk would
sheep.
means
Like a
Yeah.
sheep's crossing the road or something, like in the dark or something. Or, you know, a civilian might just be like, hey, soldiers, I'm coming. Don't fucking shoot me, you occupant assholes. Like,
Mhm.
you know, they're just like, I'm alerting you that I'm coming, you know.
yeah. So it could be like one honk could mean something, two honks could mean something else, or if there are no honks at all, that means that we did not get this guy's help, and that like that's something has changed.
And then, okay. So then let's roll with that then.
And
So,
there might be a risk.
I think, well, what would it, okay, let's agree on a honk thing. A honk probably means helping, and I think two honks means that you guys are somehow like stashed in the car. Like
Yeah.
you guys are like, you
Yeah,
guys are
like,
entering
for
the
sure.
town.
If they go to check the car, we're gonna get checked. So we need something done. Like
Yeah, I think
pronto.
two honks means we are currently unavailable. We're either going to town or we're somewhere else. Don't come to meet us in the valley. I think a honk means
Find a way in.
Well, I think two honks infers. Oh, you know what? Here, one honk means stay put, Broden. Two honks means you got to either join us or figure something else. I don't know. This is hard. I'm stressed.
Yeah, I guess
Okay, so-
the big question is, what are we hoping to gain from the guy with the car?
Information from the people, like basically getting help from the community,
Yeah.
getting in with the community and getting their feelings, what they want done, and seeing how they can assist.
If Ottomans are checking cars, it might be too risky to try and sneak into the town proper. But if we can ingratiate ourselves with this guy to at least maybe get something going on, or I don't know, like
All right, so one honk, community's with us. Two honks, we're in the car.
yeah.
No honks, nothing came from it.
This is very difficult to strategize under like a time crunch, I think.
Yeah.
That's
Here's-
No, you guys are fine.
everything.
Yeah.
I just want to be sure I
Let's-
know exactly what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's actually before we say, I think let's revisit. What do we want to happen here? Like, what is like we need? If we go into the town, that means we're not going to be able to communicate with each other. I think here might be a better idea. If you get on this guy's good, here I think I figured something out.
Yeah.
Go
If
for
you
it.
get on this guy's good side and you can figure something out with him, see if you can convince him to make a trip outside another town exit later, and then pick. If we decide to end up going in, we can get picked up and then possibly going through. Because how many town entrances are there?
There are a number of roads that lead in and
Yeah,
out
we
of the
can
town.
possibly like play a little bit of like a cup shuffle here. Either that is if we decide to get into the town, we can possibly like, you know, like agree like, hey, in like T-minus XYZ, drive out here. If we're not there, go back into town, mind your own business, whatever. So
Yeah.
like a honk could mean this dude's going in, and we are not with him. So like come meet rendezvous back with us, Broden, so we can relay what we heard from this guy. You can relay what you found at the fort. Two honks means the situation changed. We had to go with him, or possibly needed to go into the town for or at least maybe like one of us. Two honks means that we are not together. Either both of us are in the town now, or only one of us run the town. Either way, go back
Someone's
to
in the town.
go back to this vantage point, and if no one else meets up with you, that means both of us went in. If one of us meets up with you, we're gonna watch for the car to leave town again. Because I think my idea is, if this is a roundabout way of hold on, this is a roundabout way of me saying this. One honk just means he's agreed to help us, and essentially, I think the plan there is we're not going with him. We're going to tell this guy in like an hour, drive out on opposite side of the town, and go over a hill. We'll meet, and if we are there at that other hill, we're gonna try to sneak into the town. If we're not there, go back.
One honk friendly. One honk. The people are friendly to us. 2 honks. Someone of us is in town.
One or both of us are going into town.
And obviously, no honks means nothing came from it.
That's the symbol of what the honks mean. To lay out the exact plan I'm thinking of itself would be, if neither of you go into town, then we should tell this guy, meet us and like go out another side of the town in like an hour over the hill. If we are not there to meet you, go back into town, do your own
Pretend
thing.
like it never happened.
Pretend like it never happened. Go through the ranks. If in the case of the 2 honks, like if one of you needs to go into town or both of you need to go into town, if both of you go into town, Broden's gonna go up to like a ridge line and wait for a sign that he is gonna be either getting picked up or something else is gonna happen. There needs to be some kind of figure out what's going there. If only one of you goes into town, that still applies to the 2 honk situation, I think, because that means that the other person and Broden can meet up and still apply to strategize with what we need to do to either get into the town or do something around the fort. If Broden...
So should we say that if we get friendly enough to go in with him, that only one of us should go in, so someone can stay back to let Broden know?
That should be yeah. And I think that we should strive. I think it's a good break glass in case of emergency kind of thing. Yeah. We should strive for a single honk situation. So if I do find something by the fort, like a back entrance, then we can all communicate our plan in the hour it takes for that guy to pick us up if he agrees to do that and sneak us into town.
Because like my big thing with like communicating with the people is, if it comes down to making a distraction, they can super help. Jordan, what's your communications?
My communications, like, I have training in it, but like I don't have a tick in it. It's just training. But I do have 3, so like I can make a roll of 2 successes for it.
I would say that if we get wishful thinking, but if we get to the point where he wants to take us in to discuss with them about what to do or some shit, I'd say probably send DuPont in because he can sneak better.
Yeah, and I got an idea just now, which is if we do need to see one person in and it's a 2 honk situation, same rules apply. Take this person out when you go out of town and like after whenever, like in an hour or so that we can regroup with our soldiers, talk, and then communicate from there.
Yeah.
So the 1 honk rendezvous, we'll discuss. 2 honks, there's still going to be a rendezvous and the person might get out of town again, but that is kind of like a situation of just
like someone's in there.
Someone is in there. That's just
it's just extra information.
It is the extra information of someone's in town. So just be ready for that. But like, I think we should still plan for like, even if one of you goes into town, still plan to leave town. To meet up with us again so we can discuss our plan.
So,
all right,
we good to go?
So I think we're good. I think we're solid.
I think my only worry is that if any of us gets carted into town, we're wearing uniforms
Take off your uniform.
That's why I say like you should go in because you have better sneak.
Mm-hmm. And also you can probably doff a few layers.
Yeah, I probably could take off my little.
I'm just a naked man.
Yeah, if I find an Ottoman,
I think we're.
If I find an Ottoman pissing or something, I'll try to kill him and then just like grab his uniform.
Perfect. All right, yeah, we're good, DM. Sorry.
I think this is the best plan that we're gonna be able to make up on the fly, so we should just kind of roll with it for now.
What?
Scary as fuck.
We cross that bridge when we get there, yeah?
Let's go help that man.
Let's
go help the man.
I'm gonna go run across a beach.
You be careful now. Don't get caught.
All right. It is about, since we kind of established you saw the changing of the Ottoman Guard, it's about a little past 10 p.m. or 2200 when you guys figure everything out, get everything sorted, see the guy. So first, we're going to follow DuPont and Holder as they approach our good whoever it is. So, yeah. How do you guys want to go about this?
I'm gonna say that Holder kind of takes a lead on this one because he just likes people, and he tends to act with everybody in the same kind of way of like respectful, like I'm friendly with you kind of shit. So he walks up, their equipment's on them, so it's obviously visible if he can see.
Yeah.
But it is slung over the shoulder kind of shit. And he kind of approaches and like from a good distance so he can have the visual of us and not like be scared or surprised. Kind of gives like a not a loud call, but enough for the distance of just having some trouble, brother.
The guy kind of looks up. He's sort of been working around the front of the car. The headlights are still on, so he kind of like shields his eyes and kind of squints out into the darkness and calls out first in Greek, but then is just kind of it kind of probably registers that you were not speaking Greek when you called out, although with your accent it was kind of hard to tell. And just he sort of hesitantly, hello?
Hello. We noticed that you have broken down. You need some help.
He kind of like wipes his hands on his pants, wipes the grease off of them, and he kind of steps forward so he can see you all better. You see that he's kind of he's kind of like a skinny looking dude. Looks a little bit nervous and almost neurotic, you would say, but he seems friendly enough. And just, he kind of looks you up and down and just, I thought there'd be more of you. Please.
Yeah, so did we. And Holder looks over to DuPont. You kept saying you know your engines, yeah?
He's gonna go over. Let's see what's wrong with this car.
Okay.
Let's see what's the matter with the car.
Yeah, sure. Give me a mechanics roll. The higher the better, naturally. I'll say you'd probably want to hit maybe a 3 or higher to be safe.
Oh, that's scary. Okay, I can roll 3 dice and keep one in the chamber. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
Cool. I'm gonna use my last point to re-roll that last one. Shit! Never mind.
You all do the thing where, one person is working on a car engine, everyone else is kind of like leaning over. There's one person holding a flashlight, like the other person is kind of standing there, has some tools on hand. You kind of fuss about
that hose kind of looks like it's leaking right now. So,
I know what I am doing. Please make it work. Just hold the flashlight, please.
You got it.
Please and thank you.
Oh god, it's your head is casting a shadow now on where you're supposed to work, and obviously Holder's never done this before, and it takes
Holder, hold the flashlight up, please.
Hold on, I got you. Let me just get the right angle. There are lots of things in there.
You are on the wrong side. Please move to the other side.
The side doesn't matter. It's the angle. It's like...
So what I'll say is that it takes you guys. You eventually figure it out. DuPont, you eventually figure it out because you do have some training, you have some experience. However, it takes you a hot second. I'm gonna say it takes you like an hour and a half to get this shit running again. Like a while. And you could tell the guy is not impressed. Like, so as you're kind of working on it, he's kind of there, he's got his like tools ready on hand to pass them to you, and he just sort of So, Where's the rest of the army? The armies.
Well, as you may have surmised, that's not exactly something that we can talk about out loud.
Jingles
But
my
they're
little
around.
shoes. Jingling my little jester hat as if there aren't just the fucking 3 of us out here.
He sort of nods sagely. So, it is awful kind of you to come out here and offer to help me with my vehicle, but one cannot help but wonder why?
Common interest?
Why?
You're the one asking about our armies. Call us the first ones that come in. The scouts.
Roll me a communications roll. I'd say maybe target
DuPont's
number...
shoulders just like fucking raise at that. Like, why the fuck would you tell him that we're scouts?
he's like
Why
tightening a bolt.
Oh, great. We're starting to plan with a lie.
It's not a lie.
No, we're scouts. That's why DuPont's like why would he tell them that we're scouting the bitch out? He was like, oh no. Like, what if he's not
Not
with
lie.
us?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah. That's a.
I got 4 dice to work with. I'm gonna
Okay.
roll 3 and save one in the
The
chamber.
leaky sieve that is Jonathan Holder.
Listen.
He's a water
I like the guy. I'm a waterman.
We just started talking to him.
and I'm a sharer. I'm a
Oh,
sharer.
it's like you're gonna be like, oh, what's your name? Oh, I'm the Minister of the Ottoman Defense.
so, DM, narrator, what is the number I have to hit here?
I would say at least 1, 2 would be ideal.
Oh, beautiful.
There's your at least 1.
There's my at least 1. Should I go ahead and bump that 4?
Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
Bump.
bump that 4.
Please.
Bump it.
The Ottoman Department of Defense.
He kind of like watches you. You're kind of all still like in the middle of fixing this car, so you're still holding the flashlight. He's still got the wrenches on hand. DuPont's over here in the middle, like sweating bullets, trying to like tighten this hose. You know,
John's
get
giving
this
him
nut
like the
down.
friendliest smile in the world.
And he sort of leans back and just, you're full of shit, but all right, I like you. Now,
yeah.
what do you need?
Well, that part we're still slowly figuring out. What we need is community help to an extent.
To do what per se?
Remember that the plan is at least for first gather information, not make a hard plan right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm like trying to.
Making sure we're all on the same page.
For your anxiety, I'm angling it toward having him meet us up later. To make the thing that the Ottomans are so interested in here disappear.
Well, I think it is nothing more but a wild goose chase, but sure, if it gets them out of our hair, by all means.
I share the same opinion, my friend.
You have
I just follow the orders.
You have, I would say you have my support to within reasonable expectations.
You are not a fan of Ottomans, no?
Oh.
Are they bullies, or do you just not agree with war?
I mean, yes, 6-1, half a dozen of the other. We are our own community, yes. We have been Greek forever, for years, for hundreds of years. And now the Ottomans come here and they think they can take over, do whatever they want, bring the war to us, a war that we never asked for, so no.
Call you all Ottomans at the same time.
Exactly. So, no. I think you will find that most of us are not fans.
And we, again, share a common interest.
Archie kind of nods to that and continues clicking. It feels like something snapped right into place, and he's like, And I think that is good. Do you want to give it a try?
Yes. He kind of like excitedly sort of like hops into the driver's seat, kind of revs the car a little bit, starts up. He kind of gets back out, puts it into an idle. He kind of presses his ear against the hood once you snap it shut, and he just purring like a kitten. Thank you.
It is a beautiful machine.
DuPont. Archie DuPont.
Oh, there.
Georgios. Nice to meet you.
Georgios.
Ottoman Minister of Defense.
So, Georgios, we have another friend around.
Mhm.
As I told you, we are scouts. He is getting a lay. We could use some help on gathering some information.
Like I said, within reason, I am happy to help.
Would you mind meeting up with us later?
Where? And I mean, perhaps if I can make it out, it probably wouldn't be too hard. But where?
The place we agreed to meet was the same place we started, right?
Well,
That far back?
no. So the place that we as soldiers agreed to meet up after this is the same place we started the ridge. But
Yeah.
the thing of like having where this guy drive is specifically a different way out of town than he's coming into now. It like down a hill. It's we picked. I think we picked a specific spot. It just we would have agreed on one, but it's specifically like a different town gate at that spot. That's where we want to meet this guy later.
Yeah.
Like, we'll see him go kind
Yeah.
of shit.
I'd say they're probably
Yeah,
like
we're gonna meet up first, and then we're meeting with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say there are probably like, I don't know, like 3 main entrances. There's the one from the hills where you guys are coming from, and then there are 2 kind of that run up the coast, so that go through Midos. So probably one of the ones by the coast then, yeah.
I will not lie to you when I say that we did for. I mean, obviously, we saw you as a bit of an asset. So, sorry. So, if you could be so kind as to meet us out the, let's say the fucking West Gate. If you would head out the West Gate when you have the proper time for it, then a couple hours could be great. But
I will give you a few hours, and if I do not see you within 20 minutes of my being there, I will leave you.
that's all
This
we
is
can
fair.
ask for.
That is fair.
All right. Well, in that case, gentlemen, DuPont, Older, Archie, Jonathan, yes?
Yes, sir.
See you in a few hours then, perhaps.
Oh, and just one quick favor to ask. If
Another.
if you could, just to give our friend a good morale boost, give your horn a quick honk on the way in.
Sure. I can.
You are
sure,
a blessing,
I can
my
do
friend.
that. Right. He doesn't. He's really baffled by this exchange, as any normal person would be. But he gets in his car. He starts it up nicely. He does a little like wave to you guys and heads down the
Wave back.
road. And sure enough, it takes a little time, but if you look, you can kind of see him approaching the gate. And as 2 Ottoman guards like go to search his car, he taps the horn and honks it, and one of them like jumps and like hits his head on the sort of roof of the car because he had his head in through the window, and you just see like this big dramatic shrug from Georgios, and he is waved through.
I fucking love this guy.
That was worth it. Yeah.
All right.
I'm surprised that he just went along with that. Like, I feel like any normal person would be like, the fuck, don't get me caught up in your shit.
It's because he's the Ottoman Minister of Defense. No.
I can't believe
It's
you
gonna
met.
be the big twist.
I can't believe you met Lieutenant Colonel Mustafa Kemal Ataturk right here, right now.
You Googled that ever since the first joke, didn't you?
No, that's in my notes. I've had that open for like
that's amazing.
like a session now,
Cool.
like 2 weeks.
That's
so
someone we may meet.
probably not, but that is the commander who's responsible for a good chunk of the Ottomans' victory in Gallipoli. So who knows?
No.
We could alter history forever if we just go and get him. We just go and get him right now.
We're already playing in an AU. Okay, don't press
There's
your
a-
luck.
There's a painter somewhere in Germany that we need to take out.
Oh my god.
Well, technically,
Oh my god.
technically, he's probably in Belgium right now. So
There's a painter in Belgium. Anyway,
Listen, all I know is that there was a guy who spared him during World War I, and we just have to punch that dude in the face. Just really knock him out before he has a chance to do anything.
so
anyway, Private
yes.
Fink,
right,
how are you? How are you doing this fine evening?
secret mission.
Secret mission, baby.
Secret
Let's
mission.
go.
All right, so I'm rolling athletics for like sprinting across rocks in the dark.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably easy enough to kind of skirt the side of the town, but as you get to
Yeah.
the shore, it is definitely like big rocks that have been sort of like sea break type shit, you know, so
Makes sense. Yeah.
yes, athletics please, so that hopefully you don't like break your ankle or some shit, because that would be
Okay.
really unfortunate.
I'm gonna roll 4 dice, keep 1 in the chamber.
All right.
That's 3 successes.
That's
I
not
mean,
bad.
For shits and gigs, I'm
Might
just
as
gonna
well.
might as well see if that's a 4 successes. See how good I am at sprinting across rocks. Nah, I have 3 successes is pretty good, I'd say.
3 out of 4 ain't bad.
solid.
Wait, that's not the lyric. Anyway, so Fink.
What's the dark horror equivalent for Baywatch running?
Baywatch running but being chased by something.
There you go. Okay, cool. So that's not happening.
No,
but
it's
just,
not
you know.
Still
By a
Baywatch
giant
run.
Squid.
Still Baywatch run, but over rocks and not being chased by anything. So you do manage easily enough to sort of circumnavigate most of like the rockier surf break, and you kind of get to a place where there's sort of this stretch of rocks kind of piled up against the wall, you would say. So you can kind of get to a place almost in the surf where you could sort of see up onto the wall. There are a number of you're not really sure what they're called, but kind of those arrow slits or something like that you know,
Yeah.
people from the outside can look, or from the inside can look out into. You do see the muzzles of some cannons, some pretty heavy pieces kind of up on the battlements
Cannons.
towards some cannons, and well, they're pretty much properly artillery, but sort of pointed out to sea, ready to take on anyone that could manage to get past the mines. And you see just sort of this I would say probably just every not even every once in a while, it'd be longer than that. Maybe you see this person pass by once, you probably see like a flashlight or a lantern light or something just kind of like move across the top of the battlements. Probably an Ottoman on patrol or something like that. If you want anything more, I would want a investigation roll.
Yeah, I can do that.
Ooh.
Roll 4, keep 1 in the chamber.
All right. Not bad, not
2
bad.
successes. Gonna re-roll those 2.
Mm-hmm.
Extra success. There you go. Those 3 successes.
All right. So you do indeed see sort of this does seem to be like one person who is kind of making the rounds, and it's taking a while for them to sort of traverse the entire length of the battlements. However, as the night grows darker and darker and the moon starts to rise in the east, sort of casting its silvery light, you see a few shapes scaling the wall a little farther away from you. And they don't notice you. They look really intent. They're kind of free climbing it, kind of gripping into the patched stonework, the sort of pitted and pocked marks here and there. and you see that they have these really pallid, almost grayish faces, dressed in rags, their hair kind of wild and unkempt. And they after a little while, they manage to successfully scale the wall. And if you are to stay a little longer and surveil, you see that the person who has been making the circuit around the battlements stops, and the light is snuffed out.
So good news, I can climb the wall. Bad news, there's shit coming into the fort
And
taking
Fink,
out the Ottomans.
you hear this sickening crunch of a body hitting the rocks as the body is thrown over and sort of lands right above the surf.
But
For
But really-
uniform.
for uniform,
And yes, it is an Ottoman soldier.
I'll go by and strip the soldier. Why not? Like, might as well
Okay.
to grab the uniform, and it's probably bloody and shredded and ruined.
It's not too bad, all things considered. There's a nice little necklace of blood around the collar, but not
Sure.
too bad
Oh,
otherwise.
not too bad. I'll take him off and just kind of like, sorry, mate, and then just kick his body into the surf.
Okay.
And
God, what the fuck killed him?
creepy things. So just to reiterate, arrow holes with artillery
Mhm.
facing the sea. Those things climb up the wall.
Oh, they're
But really-
they're people. Sorry to clarify, they are people. They're
Oh,
humans.
they are people.
Yeah.
They are humans.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Cultists. Those cultists probably.
Yeah, the cultists,
probably the
the
same people from
followers.
the cave. Similar people from the cave, I assume.
Yeah, you
Um,
yeah. Fink would
I would-
deduce that.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, in that case, just to clarify, there's no other means of egress in terms of the seaside of the fort.
Yeah, at least from the seaside,
Gotcha.
there's not.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I can't fit through an arrow hole, and I'm not gonna free climb a wall. All right, and I assume around this similar-ish time, I'll hear a honk.
Yeah, you've probably been around for at least an hour
Yeah.
or so, just because you've been watching everything going on.
Yeah,
So yeah.
and then I'll make my way back to the rendezvous point to meet up with both Holder and DuPont. And I only heard the single honk.
All right. It's you don't meet too much. You don't really meet any sort of opposition since you are being careful and sort of skirting the town entirely. So, yeah, I'll say you guys can meet up without incident.
How'd it go?
Oh, very well.
That's good.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
very worse for wear.
No, the car was a bit fucked. But the people are excited to see us.
Is
I would not
excited
say
the
that
right
he-
word?
He did not say that.
Yeah,
But
I figured.
we do have support from one, at least.
All right. Did he agree to meet up with us?
He did.
He
yes.
did.
Right. Then. Okay, let's make our way over to where you told him to meet us and talk to him in a bit more detail, and then figure out. Oh, yeah. So, couple of things. One, no way to get inside the fort from the other side, unless you blokes feel like free climbing the wall.
I am not a climber.
John just kind of like, for a moment, looks at the hook on his shoulder with the rope and goes, shakes his head. No. That's a
Yeah.
bad idea.
All right.
Very bad idea.
And then there's a bit of a wrinkle.
A wrinkle.
You were not seen, were you?
Nah, I wasn't seen. But
What do you mean a wrinkle?
it's not just us and the Ottomans who seem to be interested in getting something in that fort. I saw some people that reminded me a great bloody deal of some blokes we shot to death earlier today, climbing the wall and murder a guard patrolling up top. Threw him over. Which, by the way, I grabbed this. I hold up an Ottoman uniform, just as,
Oh,
yeah,
that's good.
comes in
Nice.
handy and we can use it, but it seems like if I had to take a stab in the dark here, I think that these feral lunatics might be similar to the ones we found in the the cave, and
There was a lot of knives.
I have a hunch they might also want this rumored spear for their own unsavory purposes.
Or maybe do you think the spear of Suleiman was taken from them?
It seems like, from what I understand, that, well, the Ottomans are looking for the spear, DuPont, so I don't think it was taken from these people. I think it's been here for a long time, and the Ottomans, wanting to have a poke and dig it out, has these other crazy, raving psychos wanting to... Lunatics, thank you. Wanting to take it for themselves. Now, knowing that the Ottomans are looking for it here, maybe that these... lunatics are wanting it for their own purposes, but the Ottomans don't have it, so I doubt they stole it. They're looking for it.
Or
It's
maybe
old as hell.
perchance the Ottomans disturbing the resting place of this legend guy to look for
Possibly.
the spear.
They could
Maybe
be
they're getting
one,
them to stop.
or maybe that. So we can't say for certain right now. All
Either
that
way, yeah,
matters-
no, it's all fact.
Yeah, all that matters is the fact that there are some knife-happy lunatics going into the fortress as well. I only saw a couple scaling the wall. They killed a soldier patrolling. So, it changes the dynamic of what's going on the inside a little bit.
But this is not a bad thing, no? If there is infighting, if there is fighting between two people, that is less heat on us. Huh?
Chaos
Yeah, but-
is a good distractor.
No, because if I need to remind the both of you, what did one of them with the knife try to do to their own fellow corpses?
True. Okay. Yeah.
That is
No. Ooh. Well, if we get in and get out with the spear, that's
Yeah.
a problem.
If
As
we
long
can
as they don't
if
know
we can
that we're
sneak
there.
if we can sneak by
Infight.
while they are fighting, that's not
Great.
a bad idea.
But then if they start raising Ottoman corpses, their numbers increase.
Yes, we understand. But
And that'll make leaving harder.
So what do you suppose we should do?
Figure some shit out when we
Well-
talk to the guy.
Okay.
That's the baseline. Nothing else can be. But if they're sneaking around in there, it's a problem.
now we do need to figure out what exactly it is that we're gonna ask. Like, first of all, if they know anything about these pharaoh cavemen, then we need to know.
How about this? And this might be just my Aussie sensibilities. For the sake of polite conversation, let's not strategize a conversation with him. Let's just talk to him, and we'll let it flow organically between our three collective brains. We're all creative. We're all smart. We just talk to him, and if anything comes up, work with it then. But think of your own individual questions for now.
All right.
I don't want to make a local feel like we're just using him as a tool, even if we're just using him as a tool.
Holder did in fact call him an asset earlier.
I was being transparent.
You were being an asshole.
Would you? would you rather?
Broden starts walking to the new rendezvous point.
What? All I'm saying is, I would rather, if I were to be used as an asset, I would rather know.
We do not like being called assets in the first place. I think as people, we do not like being called assets in the first place.
Broden,
Yes,
who's
well,
walked a good
honesty.
15 paces away, says, "Beat feet to fuck
Oh
off."
no, they're walking and talking.
Yeah, okay, good. Just making sure.
Like, they're absolutely
Just,
walking and talking. I'm not letting Fake walk away with that. Like,
Fig
No,
just rifle slug just keeps walking, not like just not looking back.
that's what I'm saying.
So it takes you all a little while to get to the rendezvous point, but you do get there with enough time to spare. Enough time that you're probably waiting for an uncomfortable, I don't know, like maybe even 30 minutes or so.
That's fine.
Yeah. And when finally you kind of see the headlights of a car sort of turn a corner and go towards you and kind of turn off the road a little bit. Not too far, it's kind of a level area, but turn off and then shift into an idle sort of actually turn off completely and the headlights flick off. And the guy you met earlier, Georgios, he gets out of the car. He sort of has a torch of his own, but somebody else gets out of the car as well. A second person kind of looks similar to Georgios in a bit of a way. They kind of have they kind of have a similar like facial shape. This other one has like he has darker like curlier hair, but the two of them sort of stand by the car, and Georgios sort of like blinks his flashlight a few times expectantly.
Yeah, they
Walk over to
approach.
him. Yeah.
Fucking John gives a friendly wave.
Holder
being
will
followed?
be at. Oh,
Sorry.
that's good. Nosebleed
What?
all of a sudden, hearing that are we being followed?
Yeah, I just thought about it, and you kept making the joke about Minister of Defense.
Anybody else have a craving for half a glass of water right now?
God,
So,
you're
yeah,
so
I'm
right.
a-
Stay hydrated.
I'm a little nervous. at the
Stay
moment.
hydrated.
So,
Yeah.
I guess- yeah. Are we being followed?
And then while that's being considered, just for narrator notice, Broden will be at the back,
Mhm.
still walking up because he's the new person
Yeah.
here. So he's just kind of like taking like the back.
Okay. Are we being followed? You can either roll me investigation or stealth.
Can Broden also be having a keen eye on his surroundings as well and roll investigation?
Yeah, I will say you can roll investigation because you don't have
stealth.
stealth training.
I don't.
I
You
love
wanna ro-
rolling stealth. Roll
Yeah.
4 and keep one in the chamber.
Let's go.
What
Woo!
the actual shit? That's amazing.
That's so good.
Just for shits and gigs,
Yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll that last one.
Might as well. Yes! Give me another 6.
You rolled literally all sixes.
Oh,
You
that's my
rolled all-
entire
That's a
luck for this
straight.
mission.
Yep. Here, just
that's
for
my
shits and
entire
gigs.
luck with this mission.
I'll roll 4 now that it matters.
I'm not gonna roll.
All right.
I'm
I'll re-roll
comfortable.
2.
It's 2 successes.
Yeah, it's not a straight flush, but it's something. I'll roll 2 more just to be sure. All right, so 2 successes.
Okay, so
Not bad.
DuPont, you kind of know how it goes in terms of stealthing and sneaking around and stuff like that. You are very, very, very certain that there hasn't been any sort of activity near you that indicates that anyone would have been following you or that anyone would have been aware of you. From what you can
Okay.
tell, all the sort of all the attention at the moment is pointed into the town and not
Yeah.
out of it.
Cool.
And
Cool.
same thing with you, Fink.
Yeah, figures. All right, cool.
But yes, Georgia sort of approaches you all, does a little wave, just I didn't think I would see you here.
You think too little of us. Look, I know we're only 3 people, but we're still trying to help. I hope you all have had
3
a
people?
good night.
3 people? He asks, and he kind of like looks behind you,
Broden kind of like comes up a little bit, more out of the darkness.
sort of raises an eyebrow, and kind of looks to the person he came in with, and just says something in quick Greek. And then the other person like sort of also steps forward. He doesn't say anything as of yet, but Georgios continues. So, you wanted to meet? Let's meet. What exactly
Indeed.
do you need? You said you wanted help. I said that we could perhaps help to the best of our assistance, so...
Mind if I chip in first here, mates? I say to DuPont and Holder.
Right on ahead.
Private Fink. We didn't meet earlier.
Pleasure.
What's
Georgios.
Georgios. And who's your friend?
Yes, this is my half-brother, Galan.
Galan and Giorgio. Simple to remember. Nice to meet you. Broden. I'm sure my 2 friends here told you something, but give it to you nice and simple, right? The Ottomans have an interest in this area for reasons. We don't need to talk about those. You might suspect them. Doesn't matter what the word on the wind is, right? They're here, and I hear you don't like them being here. This is Greek town originally.
Correct.
Preferable to get those Ottomans away from Midos, right?
Correct.
Right. That's what we're here to help do, plain and simple. And that starts by us needing to get in there, pointing at the fort, without raising a stink, without getting into gunfights, and also, I think, pretty importantly, not bringing undue harm and shelling or burning to your fair town over here.
The other one, Georgios's brother, half brother, he kind of steps forward a little bit, his arms folded. He still looks a little aloof, but he just kind of well, I'm glad the general was not speaking out of his ass.
General, you familiar with Hamilton?
Yes, I met with him a few days ago.
And he neglected to tell us that that we had a contact here. Like, I look at my associates like,
I was not aware that we had a contact.
I think it was mentioned.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, Galan Petro is mentioned a number of times as the person who reported the spear thing and who brought the thing.
Has reported the spear thing, but like we didn't know that he was like a point of egress.
I forgot that he existed.
I'm sorry, narrator. We almost died to cultists. We forgot some pertinent details.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's totally
perfectly
understandable.
fine.
Yeah.
Still, John is just like, actually. I do believe
sorry.
he.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I got stabbed earlier. I forgot some details.
It was a hard time. It was a hard
Okay.
time.
In that case, we retcon all that. No,
No, it's fine.
no.
It's fine.
This is a good character moment. Keep
It's a
going.
good character moment. Right, rings a bell now. We've had a hell of a day. Look, how much has Hamilton told you then? I'll give you the skinny and cut it to you straight. Yeah.
Well, Hamilton did not tell me all too much. He took my report, said that he would look into it. Some other man said that he would also make
Bell.
sure. Yes, Bell. He also said
Yeah.
that he would make sure the general looked into it.
Yeah.
But yes.
All right. Then just for things being simple, the Ottomans want something that's in that fort.
Correct.
The-
The
and,
supposed spear of Suleiman the Magnificent, although I
Right.
think spear is perhaps code for whatever. I don't know.
Sure.
Sure.
Whatever the fuck this spear of a magnificent sort is. Point being, it's our mission, us three, to make sure that the Ottomans don't have it. So we want to get in there, fuck around quietly in a preferable circumstance, get out, and that's beneficial to you lot, because if they don't have their thing, they don't have any fucking reason to be here.
True. Exactly. He kind of turns to his brother and they converse a little bit, but sort of an idea lights up in Georgios's eyes. He kind of well, I said within reason, right? Well, I think there are a number of first, a number of people have been interned. I'm sure that we could finagle. Well, we were planning on releasing them anyway, since we have some keys to the back of that whatever prison they call it, but I'm sure they could be very well convinced to help you with whatever endeavor you are going to eventually do. So there is that. As for getting you to town, easy. That is not a problem at all.
You're getting us in?
Yeah.
All right. It's a bonus. What's the, well, walk us through something so we have a bit more confidence. We've had a shite day.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I actually do have a question, considering our day that we've had.
Sure.
Do you have a habit of people living in caves?
In the nearby hills, that is. Not, you know.
Any kind of legends, any kind of particular peoples to be avoided?
Sallow-skinned, raggy, might be a little bit feral around the edges.
Georgios looks like properly horrified, while Galan looks kind of like, I don't know, skeptical, annoyed almost, but Georgios is the one who speaks up. I mean, there are old wives' tales of people living in the hills, these sort of wild people or something,
Sure.
coming to steal children away, but
Sure.
Yes. Some of them, some of us believe in them, and some of us do not. I do believe in them, and I am fairly certain I have seen one or two in the past week. He kind of like looks towards his brother, who rolls his eyes. But yes, nothing but terrible, awful stories about
Sure.
them.
I look at Gallon and I just say, just for your reference, mate. Whoever it was, Gallon who rolled his eyes, right?
Yeah.
I look at Gallon and say, just for your reference, mate. We were in the hills earlier today. This happened. I show him the fucking knife wound. Just
Yeah, no.
So whatever boogeyman tales you don't necessarily believe, there's at least truth to the fact that there are crazy fucking assholes in your hill caves with knives who like to get real catty as a conversation opener.
And have quite a bit of paraphernalia of their own.
Yeah, so crazy folks. There is
We killed them. We killed a few.
Killed a few, but anyway, that's not the point. Point being, just we've had a bad day. Thank you for letting us know that. That's just been around a rumor. Okay, we get into town. What then?
Jojo speaks up again. Well, we could get you shelter, supplies, equipment. We could also get you reinforcements. Like I said, we have a backdoor into the quote-unquote makeshift prison that the Ottomans are using. They have a few of the more likely to take action folk locked up there, but they would be more than happy to help with whatever it is, as long as it harms the Ottomans. I think there are... Yeah, 3 of them? Yes. There are 3 of them right now who are locked up. And we could get you there, and we can get you basically within spitting distance of the fort, so yeah.
Spitting distance, like
Like you spit and you hit the wall.
Sure, okay. Forgot that part. I mean, is there only the one door into the fort?
I'm not actually... Gallon speaks up. Yes, there is only the one entrance.
Right. Sounds like a fort. Okay, then follow-up question. I think this is on all of our minds here. It's guarded. We're not looking to do a firefight and bust our way in. Like I said, some of us got the piss taken out of us earlier. Is there anything you lot can do without endangering your lives or your town here that could possibly make a bit of a row that could take some of the heat off of the front of the fort and maybe get some Ottoman eyes elsewhere while we, or at least one of us, to look at DuPont, sneaks into the to the building or something like that nature with these reinforcements you suggested? If they're willing to go into the fort with us, or at least take point somewhere else, that's certainly a benefit.
They would be, and Galan is speaking, I would be too, and Georgia's kind of like puts a hand up like, nah, not me, bro.
Yeah.
It's fine. But Galan sort of yes, Georgios, you could arrange something. Georgios kind of like nods long-sufferingly. But there are a few homes, houses, people I know who are up kind of against the fort. There are a few windows, entrances. Using the roofs probably would be not easy, but possible to get up onto either the battlements or through some of the windows.
That's actually really useful. Hey, hold it, DuPont. Wanna round up for a second? Huddle up?
Yep.
Give us a moment.
Take your time. They kind of go back, and Galan sort of like leans against the hood of the car, and you see Georgios like talking animatedly to him.
Right. What are we thinking?
So, what we're thinking so far, I think, is to... I don't really want to endanger anybody, but if we have volunteers to help us, more men is better than none.
Yeah, if we got folk in there who want to put up a fight to take their town back, I'm not going to say no to them.
Hell, I enlisted, they can too.
Exactly. This may just have gone from a 3-man low chance operation to possibly having 7 people in the fort, which, given the fact that there are at least 2 of those creepy little hill folks in there, makes me a lot more confident.
So do
Right.
you suppose that we should go in and break them out?
I think,
And then they assist us while we are inside.
I think so. But first step, I think that we should agree on this. Get into town. They said they can take us to somewhere else, like a safe house, somewhere to lay low for a minute. We do that. Get some supplies. And then we figure it out from there. Step 1, get in. And then take a moment to breathe and prepare.
And they said that there might be possibilities of getting in through the windows, yes?
Getting in through windows or onto the battlements. And I already know for a fact, there's not a heavy guard patrol on the battlements at the moment.
Understood. I suppose my main worry is I wouldn't expect the Ottomans to not be able to take out just a few feral men, yeah?
We'll see.
I do want to mention, if I have to climb a wall, I will fall.
You're not going to have to climb a fucking wall, mate. Don't worry. I'm not going to put you through that.
We're figuring that out.
You mentioned before that they were climbing walls like baboons.
DuPont.
Baboons. You're from bloody France, and the first animal you grab onto that climbs is a fucking baboon.
We have baboons in zoos. Do you not have zoos?
All right, Tutu. DuPont. He points at Archie.
Baboon.
And then points at Broden, still looking at Archie. The man got a uniform.
Yeah, I got a uniform. So,
if anyone needs to wear it, I can climb.
someone here is bound to speak Turkish.
Oh, you know what?
Step 1, let's get inside.
Let's get inside. All right.
All right.
Fucking claps both of his brothers on the fucking shoulders. All right.
I think on that note, as our soldiers continue to bond over animals, because that's just a thing that is happening, we are going to go on a quick break. So see you in about 15 minutes for the daring ascension of the walls and ingress into Kilid Bar. So see you in a bit. Hello everyone, welcome back. I think where we left off, we were just about to get into the town of Midos proper and figure out what the castle assault, the fort assault.
Yeah.
The ingress into Kilid Bar. So, yeah. So, Galan and Georgios, they basically do a little bit of what would be analogous to some Tetris. So the car it's not huge or anything, but there's enough room that like the back seat like lifts up and there's like this hollowed out cavity below, like underneath the seat cushion that people can fit into. Somebody else can fit under like the well of the sort of the floor well, the foot well of the back seats, like kind of throw like a rug or just a towel, blanket, whatever over them. Somebody can get in the trunk, so it's easy enough for them to get you into Midos proper. It sucks. It's stuffy and it's hot and it's gross, and you're pretty sure that the trunk almost got opened at one point for whoever was in the trunk, and that was terrifying. But luckily that didn't happen.
No fish.
No fish.
No fish.
No fish this time. But it takes longer than you would expect. It seems like they're taking a bit of like a circuitous route, perhaps once they get into the town. But after a while, I'd say maybe like 20 minutes or so, the car finally comes to a stop, and you all are released from your various hiding places to blissful fresh air. So from where you are, you can see that you are very close to the fortress itself. The sort of wall, the stone walls kind of loom up over you, and it's kind of steep and imposing, and even beyond the walls there's a taller tower that goes over that, and you see every once in a while lights kind of pass back and forth on different floors and stuff like that. And Galan and Georgios help you all out. Georgios kind of, once everything with the car is in order, just kind of takes his leave, says, I'll see what I can do with the distraction, and heads out.
Hey, you mentioned a fucking safe house or a place for us to go and get supplies.
Galan will take care of it. I need to take care of organizing.
Great.
Yes.
Thank you.
So Georgios fucks off to go figure out whatever distraction, and Galan takes the car. Galan, you're kind of in front of this. It's a very small, like, modest house, but he escorts you all in. He like, it's not much, but this is my home. I have some supply. He just gives you a look like, shut the fuck up. No, it's not. But do you have anything in particular you need? I can attempt to organize whatever it is.
Give us broad strokes of what you have available to you in this town.
Broad strokes. We do not have too much in the way of explosives. We have some firearms. It is more along the lines of like what what your average farmer or somebody else would use. Mostly rifles, small pistols, so on and so forth. We've got plenty of equipment, ropes, climbing things, so on and so forth. Knives, clubs. We've got the car. I'm sure Georgios can also convince someone else to lend their car should it be required for an escape. But what else? We have a number of smaller boats available, although that would be more along the lines of after this entire yes. And we have some manpower once we spring them, which is easy enough. He kind of like reaches into a pocket and like jingles a little keychain that has a few keys
firearms for those gentlemen, or at least some implements of weaponry would be helpful for a start. We're trying to keep this quiet. In a perfect situation, we don't have to fire a single bullet.
Okay.
I like the sound of the climbing equipment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will figure out some equipment if possible. I will get knives, clubs, etc. I think I will be able to wrangle up some pistols. He kind of like looks at you all. Do you want to stay in the uniforms?
These aren't really protecting us much, and if we're gonna be moving around, it probably wouldn't hurt to
change out
if there's clothes available. It doesn't have to be uniforms. It just needs to be if you got civvies, that's great. But
yeah, I have my brother and we have some spares. We can
darker clothing if you got them.
Yeah, no problem. I can get that sorted out for you.
A small idea, if there happen to be soldiers who have died on the job, a morgue perhaps that might have their clothes?
Well, if there are, we certainly do not have any access to them.
Right.
Yeah. It was a
it's no good idea. However, not within my capability.
We do have one Ottoman uniform that I acquired through means. If anyone here speaks Turkish, knows anything like that, might fit in it, might be a possible thing that they could help with.
I speak Turkish.
You speak Turkish, mate. Yes, I could tell.
Oh,
Hold on, you cannot make him do something he doesn't.
I'm not gonna make him go into the bloody fort. No, I'm just saying that.
Right.
I'm going into the fucking fort with you. I'll wear the uniform. I will speak Turkish if necessary. Hopefully, it won't be, like you said, quiet in and out. Yeah, not a single shot.
Quiet in and out. We're trying to get what they're wanting out before they can do anything. We do expect hostilities, but we're not looking to take shots. We don't want to raise alerts. We don't want to make a messy exit.
Right. John looks at Broden for a minute, like kind of like nudges his arm. Should we be a little more transparent about what he may not believe?
No.
Okay.
Were you serious about seeing those people out in the hills?
Hill folk? Yeah, one of them stabbed me.
I also took damage. I patched myself up just fine.
Yeah.
They're certainly killable.
We'll tap on his leg.
Think I still have some remnants. He kind of like kind of huffs the hook on his shoulder.
I will at some point whisper to Holder and DuPont and say, by the way, keep your bloody knives out of sight until they might be useful.
Sounds like a plan.
Good.
We got plenty of weapons.
We got plenty. Galen, was it?
Yes.
Galen, you've been here your whole life, but I mean to say you've been here for the duration of these Ottoman's occupation. Tell me, what is there, from what you've heard, maybe not necessarily seen, their daily affairs at the fort?
What
do you hear? What do you...
It's strange more than anything. At first we thought they would be coming into the fort to, occupy it, to use it for, defense of the strait, but, it's machinery. We hear, drilling inside, working.
Mining.
Yes, not too much in the way of military activity, no drills. It's a small force, which is strange. We know there are far more across the straits to the east, but...
Do you have a general guesstimate on to how many?
Yeah, just from visual alone. Doesn't have to be exact.
Any ideas? Good.
I would say probably at least maybe it's not a large amount. Probably no more than a single battalion. It seems like, but maybe it's 20 of them all spread out.
Gotcha.
Most of them within, but
And this might
it's hard
be a
to
silly
say.
question, but just there's no chance of there being these old forts, some kind of secret passageway or old tunnels that connect other parts of Midos.
Rumors also work.
Let's roll something. Let's see.
Oh boy.
20 men, muy bien. We know two of them are dead.
If there were, it was a long time ago. The fort has been
Sure.
here for 900 so years.
All right, fair
enough.
Fair enough. Well, I won't rest my laurels on that one. In the event of last resort, do any of you have access to explosives?
I have
That
my
is-
grenades.
That is the one thing that we do not have a lot of access to. We
It's
have
fine.
maybe one grenade or so.
No,
hidden away,
not
but-
grenades. Not grenades. It's all right. They're mining. They might have dynamite or some other explosives for that. All I'm
More
getting
than
at
likely.
is if if things have gone real squiggly and we need to blow some tunnels on an escape, if we got some someone on a tail, might be a last resort. But don't worry about it. Be good. I can't think of anything else to prepare for. We want to get these fellas out of their prison, obviously, talk to them, and there's no one else, no civilians who ever go inside the fort for work purposes or something that the Ottomans need them for.
No, not
No?
really. That is
Alright,
also
fair.
one of the strange things
Yeah.
they keep to themselves, which is more concerning than not.
How good are these three men with weapons?
I mean, none of us are trained. None of us are
Can
professionals.
they hunt?
Yes.
If they can hold a rifle, then they're fine by me. Holder DuPont, yeah, a little private talk here.
I'll get those clothes for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if there's any more of these hill folk climbing over the walls in the couple hours it's taken us throughout this whole conversation to get here to this point. Point being, I'm not certain what the state of affairs is going to be inside the fort, but I don't want to have any of these locals' heckles raised going in. I just want them to think of Ottomans. And if we come into contact with some of these crazy lunatics, we tell them to shoot them, but let's not give them spooky tales.
Let's not scare him. Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't want him turning tail.
Yeah, shaky hands not good for A. So,
all right.
and I think it's preferable because it sounds like we might need to either go, if not underground, which it sounds likely underground. These folks, they stay in the normal parts. I don't want any of them seeing anything either. But push comes to shove, we get something real bad, we need reinforcements, we can call on them to start taking shots. But in the event that there's weird things down there, I don't want them coming to see it.
So
It's our burden, not theirs.
oh, absolutely.
Good.
So there is possibly about 20 men. We know that one is dead, and possibly more due to these feral people. Now, Roden, if we are going in, most likely we are going up.
Up the wall, yeah.
Now, of course, we are going to sneak. We are going to be as subtle as possible. But my main question with you, not so much to you, DuPont, but for me and you, Broden. If we can, do we take people out on the way?
If we can quietly, yes.
Okay.
I'm not as let me double check my equipment here for just a second. It's like, yeah, because I believe that damage wise, yeah, we don't have any knives that do 2, so
Unless you use the sacrificial dagger, which that
does,
that specifically does extra
that's-
damage.
but
right.
it specifically does extra damage to targets with 2 or less corruption.
Which I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty
you
sure
guys
Ottomans are there, but I feel like the cultists are gonna have.
Like cultists would be harder. Ottomans, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's
okay.
they deal 1 damage automatically to targets with 2 or less corruption, but they don't deal any damage to targets with 5 or more corruption.
Hey, great rules lawyer in the sky. What is the average assumption of how much HP an Ottoman soldier has?
I would say generally in terms of your average common soldier or just even average regular person, you're hovering around like 2 to 3 brawn.
Okay.
As you're just average.
That's not bad.
Person.
It's not
yeah.
bad. It's not bad.
If we use the daggers, we can. Although it does, the first. Broden won't be using the knife anyway, so that's something I'll deal with.
No,
will he?
He has one. He'll use it.
Okay. Well, then just know the thing that will happen on the first thing, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, bro. I mean, if it's a choice between him using that to slit an Ottoman's throat while being sneaky, or him using his gun, he's gonna use the sacrificial dagger.
All right, cool.
Dude, I'm gonna just have to start throwing knives and shit because I don't
you got
have anything.
You got a lot of
well,
them.
because DuPont has the stealth. I want to avoid
as much conflict as possible.
Not conflict. I want Holder and Fing to avoid needing to make a stealth roll in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you can do that with 2 dice max, I believe. I can do that with 3 dice max. So like, I want to avoid having to make stealth rolls at all.
Yeah.
That was just a small question because this might affect the way that I go about things. Do you think it's possible to make an attack roll with stealth if I'm like like sneaking in for the kill sort of thing?
I mean, that's.
Or would that have to be
That'd
melee?
have to be
I would,
melee, right?
yeah, I would say it would have to be melee, honestly.
Okay. No, I was just like, it was just a thought.
Yeah, no,
Like,
it's
yeah.
a good
Yeah,
thought.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
good thought, but I think no, it would have to be melee.
Yeah.
okay.
Solid thought to have.
Because
Yeah.
like
Yeah, 'cause-
you know, there's a skill difference, I'd say, between like being able to quietly get up to somebody and then choking them to death.
The knowledge versus the execution.
Exactly. Yeah.
No pun
Yeah,
intended.
it was just like the thought that I had was like, if I could sneak up and take them
Mhm.
out, then that would clear a way for Holder and Fink
Mhm.
to be able to cross without, you know, having to provoke those stealth checks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good idea, but
Uh,
unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't have any training or a tick in melee, so unless I
Yeah.
sneak up behind him and then I just like Fink, like
I think
just
your
throw shit at point blank.
I think your job is not to take anyone out. Period. You're just the sneak guy.
In terms of our reinforcements, what are we doing with them?
For now, let's get up to the fort and then figure out once we have a visual on the inside.
Okay.
Once we are up
Yeah,
on
'cause
the
I think-
walls, yeah.
The ultimate goal is to let them out, the ones who are the rowdy boys. We can call them the rowdy boys. We can let them out, and with what Xander said, once we get a good lay of what it looks like on the inside, then we'll have a better idea about where to possibly send
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, whether
So-
it's up the wall with us or
For
in...
now, we get inside the fort, get a visual on the inside immediately, then figure out the next step.
Okay.
sounds good.
Let's do it.
So, kind of as you all are talking shop, about 5-10 minutes in, Galan sort of like he makes himself known, not by saying anything, but like by coming down the stairs more loudly than usual, and kind of puts some piles of clothing down and just I'll be back in a bit, getting the supplies. And as you all talk and he goes out and he organizes a number of things, he returns after a while. I'd say, oh gosh, it was
Start
10
changing while he's
o'clock,
gone and talking.
11. I'd say it's probably pushing like 1 a.m. at this point.
We're right on
right on schedule. Excellent.
If our plan was to get inside the fort by 2 a.m., we're right there.
Right.
Awesome.
On it.
So it's about 1 a.m. and he returns. He's got he's got a bag. It's got not much. He's only got like 1 pistol proper, but he's got a number of like knives, clubs, etc., quiet weapons for other people. And he just it's not too far. Let's go then. Yeah. All right.
Right.
Right. He leads you out into the streets, and in the wee hours of the morning, it is quiet. You kind of hear the lapping of the waves against the rocks. The weather is clear, luckily, as it has been clear within the straits. It's just outside that it's been stormy. And true to his word, it's really not that far at all. There's kind of this sort of makeshift, it looks like it was perhaps a house at some point, but it was converted into a prison, perhaps just kind of right up against the wall of the fort. And there isn't anyone on duty. Like, as you approach, Galen kind of looks at his watch and kind of makes sure, but then sort of like nips his way in there and kind of like beckons you all in. And true to his word, he's got the keys, and with a few easy locks, you have 3 allies, 3 townsfolk of varying, varying creeds, etc. Most of them don't really speak a lot of English, but they seem very eager to help with whatever Galen has explained to them that you all will be doing.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Oof. And it's also pretty easy to kind of get up on the roof of this house. There's like a staircase up, and sort of like this sort of flat, slanted, almost kind of like tile roof, one might say. And it's within kind of like a boosting distance, or like maybe boost in like a little bit of a jump distance to some of the windows that are open, and then the battlements are just a little bit above that. We ready?
DuPont nods.
Yeah, we're all geared up. We got our full retinue of men. Let's wait. Can I, really quickly, just in case, roll investigation for the sake of seeing what the wall patrol situation is?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, roll me an investigation check, please.
I would very much like to do that, just to be
Yeah.
safe. Because like
See if
in a
they
couple
replace
hours,
us, man.
not even. Yeah, I just want to see how fucking dead quiet it is. All right, that's 3
Hey,
so far.
yo!
I'll re-roll
That's not
another.
bad at all.
Fuck.
That's 4
Fuck.
successes.
Oh.
Dude, that's it.
So,
All right.
kind of from where you are, you can kind of see, like, since you're like right up against the wall, you can kind of see askance towards the gate. There seems to be like one person actively manning the gate since it's the really early hours of the morning. And if like you don't see any more lights over the top of the battlements, but I will give you more information as soon as you get up onto the battlements or within the windows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha.
Because,
Sounds
yeah,
good.
because you rolled very nicely.
Yeah.
So
Alright.
the three prisoners plus Gallon, they begin like kind of got some climbing equipment, got some sort of, you know, different makeshift like ropes, etc., stakes, stuff like that. And then as they're sort of making this ropeway that will help you ascend, you hear kind of like this screech and just this long honk of a car as Giorgio skids up with his car, his headlights full in the face of this one guard, hops out of the car, brings along this woman who looks to be about his age. It doesn't look like they're related per se. You'd guess this would be like a girlfriend or a wife or something. And he just starts laying into this guard in Greek, like half Greek, half Turkish, just fucking going ape shit. And like some of the guys kind of like they kind of like stop a little bit, and Gallon kind of like stops entirely and kind of like turns and listens and just
What's he saying?
It doesn't matter. That's our distraction. Let's go.
I do not speak Turkish or Greek.
I don't want to know about my sister-in-law. Up the wall.
Oh. Okay. That's our distraction. Let's go.
Jeez.
All right.
Incredible. And I feel like, yeah, I think we are going up to the wall, but if we're passing windows on the way, we should be looking into them and getting like a lay of like,
Are they clear? Are they not?
be clear what's going on there.
Yeah.
Possible
So
points of egress.
yeah. So
That man over there is a hero.
Don't tell him that. So the way it is, the windows would be into kind of the wall itself. All the activities kind of happening in the tower. But as you sort of climb the wall, you kind of look into whatever portholes here and there. There isn't really anybody there, not really signs of anyone being posted on guard duty or anything like within the wall itself. So you seem to be clear on that front. You don't see any lights, no movement, nothing like that. And you get to the top of the battlements, and I'll say, for the sake of your roll, Fink, I'll say you probably get up there first, so I can tell you what you see. There are a number of, I think there are two guards, kind of at the steps of the steps that lead up to like the keep proper, the main tower proper. They have a machine gun set up, and the other one seems to be kind of like loosely holding a rifle of some kind, with also hand on a belt. You wager he's got a grenade in the other hand. But when you look and you take a moment, you realize that their uniforms don't fit. And you realize that there are little splotches of red
shit.
in their uniforms.
Are they gray, like kind of like gray?
Yeah,
sallow
you see
skin?
that sallow skinned, kind of like gray, almost hasn't seen the sun in, years features. And you can tell from even this far away that those are not Ottoman soldiers.
And just them up there?
Yeah, just those two. There seems to be other, like, movement happening. Every once in a while you hear you hear some, like, maybe some machinery happening, so on and so forth, but nothing too alarming at this point. So there seems to be activity within the tower.
Window situation?
You are on top of the battlements. You kind of have, like, the yard in between the wall and the tower. You see some lights going on in the tower through the windows, but you would have to, like, cross the yard to get up into the tower, or go all the way around back and then try to climb up.
How close are those two hill folk to where we're coming up to?
I would say within sprinting distance.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Can we get over and our group bum rush them quietly, take them out with only physical force, throw it over the fucking wall if we need to, like to the outside, not to the inside courtyard, because then we'll have a machine gun.
And these are the cultists that have control of this, right?
And yes, it looks like so. And then we can have Galen stay up here because Galen is wearing a Turkish uniform.
That's true. So okay.
I don't like Alice's look right now.
No,
my
I'm really
only-
liking you guys' plans.
My only thing with that is that if it goes wrong, we are fucked. We are absolutely, like, if we do not handle this within the first round, they're gonna make a ruckus and we're gonna get caught.
There's 2 of them and there's 7 of us.
Oh, so oh my god, I thought about the 3 of us going in. Okay, so all 7 of us are going in.
I would say like the whole group can just like bum rush run, take these guys down, and like just only using physical force. Is that possible, Al? Is that like a thing that we can do?
Between the 7 of you and the fact that the 2 of them are within sprinting distance, and you're pretty sure that they kind of look uncomfortable with firearms.
Yes. Yep. We're doing it. This is what we gotta do. We take them out quietly, and then we've secured our little corner, and then we have a machine gun. Is the machine gun?
I can use machinery too, so I could operate the machine gun.
That would be ranged. Sorry.
That'd be right. Okay.
Oh, would it be? Oh,
wait,
okay. Yeah, no,
question. Is this a machine gun that only faces outward, or can it be pointed wherever?
It can be rotated, but it is it's very heavy. It's not like a light machine gun that you can pick up. Yeah.
I just mean like we can like rotate it towards the courtyard if need be. So if we have Galen securing this spot, or maybe we leave one resident here, possibly maybe we take them all with us. I don't know. Point being, we have a machine gun that if things get real bad, we have a let's just call it a yard trimmer at our disposal.
Yeah, I think that works.
Love that.
All right, let's fucking.
All right.
Brode's like on like the wall. He's like, rolling, on 3, 1, 2, over the wall. Like
everyone, roll me a melee roll, as good as you can get it.
I'd be so happy to do that.
And I'm rolling for all of the boys right now.
I'm so down.
Let's see what the boys roll.
Boys.
Okay? Fellas.
We did save something in the chamber, right?
They saved something in the chamber, right, boys?
Boys?
One,
boys?
2, 3. Yeah, they did actually. So that would be enough to bump 2 of them, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can reroll 4.
DuPont is not helpful today.
No, his job is not for the.
So we
Oh.
we bump 2, so we get 3 successes out of them
Okay.
at the very least.
Okay, that's good.
That's good. That's good.
That's
I'm gonna
at least
roll-
one person hit.
I'm gonna roll. Keep one in the chamber.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. How many successes do I need?
We're doing like a team
Oh, we're just
rush.
pooling?
Yeah,
We're just
we're
pooling?
pooling
Then
As
everything.
I'm
much
going-
as possible, yeah.
Then I'm gonna instead of bumping one, I'll just re-roll the entire pool.
Mm-hmm.
Might as
Okay.
well, right?
Might as well.
There we go. That's more like
That
it.
is much better. That
That's
is
a
Five.
lot better.
Net gain. Net gain.
All right,
is a
so
much better
I'm
result.
rolling.
All right, hold
I'm
on.
rolling. I'm rolling
Box.
3, keeping one in the chamber.
Do it.
3, keep
Let's
one
do
in
it.
the chamber. Stocks.
Hey, re-roll the whole pool.
Stonks.
You can only go up. You can only go up.
It can only go up. Hey, that's
got
one.
one. You
Then we
won.
got 6
Hey.
in total.
Six
Got
in
6
total.
successes.
Yep, that is absolutely enough to just overpower these 2 guys who are just. They seem absolutely shocked that not only you guys are there, but running directly at them. And they kind of really go down without much of a fight, if anything.
And then Broden throws one over the wall to the outside.
You hear Wilhelm scream, "Ah!" Whatever, because it goes over. But one of them, kind of, who's being held down by 3 of the boys, is kind of speaking
boys.
in this rapid sort of tongue, and one of the men kind of like shakes his head, just slaps him across the face, still speaking in the tongue, and Galen is just.
Archie's gonna cover his mouth because he knows what bullshit that is. He's gonna cover the fucker's
Yeah.
mouth so that he's not talking.
Yeah, Galen sort of furrows his eyes and is just
What?
understand
strange language. It's like really, really old, like almost like ancient church Greek.
Hey, Dad. DuPont, throw him over.
On it.
Take him out.
And while holding him by the noggin, still continuing to keep his mouth closed, he's like shaking him like a goldfish
Mhm.
bowl, and then just like tosses him over.
Slit him. Don't let him scream.
Well, okay. Well, actually, hold on. Just
Mhm.
so I think we 3 players are clear on here. I don't think either the 3 of us as soldiers, as characters, would feel great about the act of slitting a man's throat. So like I don't think any of us are going to be super casual about that. Like,
Yeah, slitting someone's throat is actually like pretty fucking brutal.
so I just say just like get him the fuck off the wall.
Cool. Yeah, he'll die when he falls. And he just tosses him over. Hopefully he dies.
Yeah, you kind of hear these 2 like
Hopefully.
thick. You kind of hear these 2 like sickening crunches, and then you hear almost an exclamation, and then you hear a car revving up and just thud, and then it reverses and drives away.
Someone hit one of them with the car.
Georgios is a fucking hero, dude.
Georgios was our adventure, bro. What the fuck?
Giorgio's got the
Wait.
3rd guy who was on the outside, man.
I like to
right.
think. I like to
Oh,
think that
was that also
John
a
was just
Hillfolk?
watching that. Like,
Oh, that was also a Hillfolk. Oh shit. Okay, good for Giorgios. Yeah, I just gotta say, like, I don't think DuPont, Holder, or Fink are just gonna be casual about slitting someone's throat. I feel like any of us would pause when grappling with that much violence. Throwing a man off a wall.
Throwing off a wall is one thing because you're not actively
You're not
like.
I will say as a character, if I'm to think in my character's thought processes, you cannot say that for sure.
Interesting.
Archie would never look at you the same again if you slit someone's throat.
Yeah. No,
It's-
Fink.
I don't
Fink
think
was-
you understand the visceral feeling of what that
Uh-huh.
would be like,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll see.
I just say either knock him out or kill him so he doesn't scream.
Like, I know what all I'm saying is Fink has no problem burying a knife in a dude's chest if it needs, like, he needs to take a soldier out. Like, that's just violence of war.
That's fine.
Slitting a man's throat,
It's
that's where
intimate.
he's gonna be like
It's kind of like it's a little like side of deviousness to like slit a dude's
Exactly.
throat instead of just
Yeah.
like stabbing just to kill.
Anyway, point being, we take care of them. So we're on the wall now.
We hit him with a razzle dazzle.
You
What's
hit
the
him-
situation down in the courtyard? What are we looking at?
The courtyard looks actually deserted, and as you sort of take a moment to kind of look around, you see, here and there are dotted corpses of what look to be Ottoman soldiers who've been felled. Not a lot of them, but maybe like one or two here and there.
What the fuck?
Hillfolk really got in here. Shit.
Bro, what the fuck is that? Dude, how many of them
That's
are
what I was
actually
talking
Hillfolk?
about.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
there
if
has
we
to
leave
have been
that
a
shit.
good, Holy
Yeah.
shit. They're
And-
trying to get the fucking spear.
As you kind of like look over this, you sort of see still there's movement in the floors of the tower up above, and you hear the crack of a gunshot from within, followed
Oh,
by
no.
a number more. These aren't not rifle fire, but some more rapid pistol fire, and
Okay.
it sounds like that there is some conflict going on within.
DuPont holds his hands out, like kind of holds his arms out in like a startled crouch, towards the guys that we freed, because the soldiers will keep a level head with gunfire, but civilians not so much.
Yeah.
But he's just kind of like he kind of like puts the hand up like let's stay cool, kind of thing. And he's going to go and investigate.
Okay.
We're gonna go take a look.
Fink will put a hand on your wrist to stop you for a quick second, just like before you go, and he'll say, "Before you go, look that out. All I'm saying, I think the circumstances changed. If the Ottomans are being taken out, I care a little bit less about making a ruckus." And I eye the machine gun. If we need to get down there and we need to lay covering fire and there's some kind of active takeover going on here, that might be a way to blanket cover us as we make our way down.
That is not the worst idea. Oh shit!
Take
my
a
fucking
look.
Monitor just did it again. The fuck?
Oh damn. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I need
I
record.
let go of
yeah.
your wrist, and Fink just says, if you can get to the tower or at least somewhere nearby, take a look. Don't take unnecessary risks. Come back. If you're not back in I look at my watch and say a reasonable amount of time, we're gonna move on without you.
And DuPont nods and he goes
Alright.
forward. Just to
Get
let you guys know, I think I have the most ticks in ranged, because like I have 4 guts and then I also have 2 ticks plus the training in ranged fire.
You are the
You guys
most
want me like
physically weak of us. What I think is if it comes down to it, DuPont might be the one who sits on the machine gun and gets some shit done.
yeah,
we
if
can-
you guys
we
want
can-
me on the
shit.
machine gun, I can probably do that. But like I also
Yeah.
like if you guys want me to like do
I'd
like
say-
some recon first and then come back and then
That's what I mean.
sit
No,
on the machine
no,
gun.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. Recon first, and then if we need to leave somebody behind to be on the machine gun, it's gonna be you, buddy. You
Okay.
probably
Like
got
for
the best
sure,
use of it.
come back, but you have the most sneak recon.
Okay, cool. My monitor did that thing again, so I'm gonna.
You're
fix
good,
that
take
really
your
quick.
Fix that real quick.
What the fuck is going on, man?
So it looks, yeah, no. So I'm thinking that it's like, oh, we don't have to worry about
Like
necessarily
we can,
sneaking.
yeah.
We can at least make a bit of a ruckus, and maybe a ruckus will, because it's very dark, it's very late. Maybe if there are surviving Ottomans throughout the facility, maybe a particularly loud ruckus will rouse them, and then they'll get into a fight with a bunch of the hill folks who are trying to sneak around and kill them all, and then we'll have a bunch of crossfire going on. And during that crossfire, we can just get the fuck
Mhm.
downstairs,
That's what
take
I'm
the
saying,
spear,
dude.
and jump into the ocean.
Like we gotta. I say, like I said from the, like I said from the start, we need to take advantage of the chaos. Like there's a bunch of shit
Honestly-
that they don't understand what's going on right now. We have a lot more information than them. We need to like both sides
this is
of this
good.
conflict
Like,
don't know about
This
us.
is actually, it's dangerous for us with all the hill folk, but like, this
But
is actually-
none of them know about us.
None of them know about us being here.
We have the element of surprise. Let's use it to our best advantage.
Okay.
Bills have surprise.
So until further notice, like Gallon is totally happy to put 2 of his men like on the machine gun, for one on the machine gun, one to cover him for now, and until you guys do your thing and then tell them to do something
Yeah.
otherwise.
Yeah.
So, DuPont, you're gonna make your way down across the courtyard and take a look inside the tower?
Yeah, he's just gonna take a quick look.
Okay. How about you roll me a stealth roll?
And I think it's important to know from the walls, guns are out
Oh, yeah.
following DuPont.
Yeah.
If he gets in a bad position, we will start laying covering fire to get our man out of there. If he's in a bad
100%.
place.
I am going to roll 3 dice. Keep one in the chamber, always.
Always.
Nice.
Okay.
Fucking beautiful.
Might as
For
well.
The shits and gigs, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
Shits and gigs to fuck around and find
That's
out.
fine.
That's fine. Two successes seem
fine.
pretty respectable to me.
That's not bad. That's not bad,
Not bad at all.
No, not bad.
As you DuPont, you sort of make your way down. There's kind of a ladder on the other side of the battlements going down to the yard, and you make your way across. The frequency of the gunfire kind of escalates, right? It becomes more rapid. You hear muffled yells and screams and what you presume is Turkish and this other language, this kind of more ancient Greek perhaps that the others were speaking. And as you kind of slowly peek your way through the main archway, the main entrance, the sort of old ancient wooden door is ajar, and as you look inside, you see that the ground floor of this tower is just littered with dead bodies. It looks like the majority of these are Ottoman. Some of them are actually slumped over machinery that looks like they're being used to drill into the walls here and there. And you see in the sort of far away from you, there's a spiral staircase that leads up towards the higher parts of the tower, but the ground floor is unoccupied.
Cool. So just as kind of like a quick look around, do I happen to see anything spear adjacent?
No.
Okay, cool. It's a stretch, but so the
Probably
machinery.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, I don't want to fuck with the machinery yet. Let's go upstairs.
Yep. Yeah, you had 2 successes. I'll allow it. You kind of make your way slowly, carefully up the steps. Thankfully, they're not wooden; they're stone, so it's easy enough to keep
thank
quiet
God.
on them.
I was literally just thinking about wooden versus stone steps,
No,
dude.
you're good. Stone steps, and you sort of make your way up, and kind of, as you sort of get to the ground level, you sort of kind of smooth your hands over the top and just peek over just a little bit, and you see, all this while, the sounds of the conflict have been escalating, have been getting more frantic, and you see there are actually a number of people fighting on the second floor. It looks like there are a few Ottoman soldiers and a few of these cultists wrestling here and there. One of the Ottomans is sort of pinned to the ground by one of the cultists. His pistol sort of clatters to the side, and just as a sacrificial dagger is going to be plunged down to him, another Ottoman soldier, kind of with a roar, kind of tackles the other cultist. It looks like they're pretty evenly matched at this point, but there's definitely a lot of fighting going on up here, and there's even more going on upstairs.
Okay.
And same thing here, where a lot of the walls have been kind of drilled into and broken apart. You see kind of masonry littering the floor here and there.
Right. I just had a thought, and I want to run this by you guys. What if I throw a grenade in there and then just duck my head under? Like, because they're not focused on me. I just fucking...
How long would
And
it take
then-
for you to run back to where we are?
Not too long. I mean, it was just a
Do it.
short thing across the yard. Yeah.
It might raise some alarm and get back over here, and then I mean, I think where the plan is, we might as well just fucking make some noise, because if we have this active combat going on in here, might as well light the place up. And then here's the thing to consider: if there's a ton of noise coming from the fort, all of the gate, like the guards stationed around like the town's gates, might come running to the fort to investigate, which will be an additional layer of people coming in and fighting with hill folk if there's a lot going on up on the surface level. So
okay, yeah.
I think
like, do we also want to just lure like more of them to that area, and then we gun them down with the machine gun?
let's take, I think first step, let's just throw the grenade. Do that right now.
since we're not in combat, can I just like take both of my grenades, flick the pins, and then
Throw them in there.
awesome, or just one?
Yeah, I'll allow that. I will say, please remember the way the stats on the grenade work. You only do damage to one target unless you have enough successes to buy the augmentation.
Okay.
Since you have time, and I think it would be really cool, I will allow you to roll 2 ranged attacks with the grenades, and then you can pool those successes, and if you manage to buy augments with those successes,
Nice.
I will
That's
allow sick shit to
That's
go
very
down.
good.
Let's
That's
go, dude.
That is
fucking
very
do it.
fun. Thank you.
Let's do it.
How generous. Thank you,
Okay.
narrator.
That sounds
So-
great.
For the first roll, I have a base roll of 2 dice, and I've got 4 guts. So we're gonna roll 5 dice to keep one in the chamber.
Okay, so that's 2
Successes. So I just need to re-roll 3.
Okay, that's 3.
There we go. That's 3.
And you're
Okay.
gonna want to get hopefully at least 2 more successes to be able to do damage
Yeah.
to 1d6 people.
Okay.
So for the second grenade roll, 5, keep 1 in the chamber.
1, 2,
Oh,
3.
Do it again for fun. Do it again for fun.
So if you get another success, you can choose to do additional damage.
Roll those 2 more dice. You
Roll
another
that
success.
shit. Roll that shit.
It's chaos. Wow.
Roll
We are
your-
lucky this episode.
Roll your,
We're so good.
roll your 1d6, babe. Let's go.
Roll it. See
Oh,
how many
roll.
people
Come
you
on.
hit.
Come on.
See how many people you hit, baby.
Big money.
Okay, where can I just roll a
You
1d6?
should
Just
be
click
able
the
to hit-
D6 icon.
Yeah. Bottom of the chat.
Yeah,
Oh,
just put
oh
in a
my gosh.
1.
That's awesome. Wait, there's Baba Booey. Oh, okay, yeah, just there we go.
Oh.
Tragic.
Oh, that's a whammy. No. All right, the luck ran out. It's okay.
It's all right. It's
Was
all
it
right.
2 targets?
Yeah, that would be 2 targets. So it'd be 1 + 1 additional. That would-
You
It's
can-
still
you
really
can- that would've been
sick.
So cool.
You
Do
kind
you
of
have any cards?
Don't burn a card for that.
I'm super fucking with you, dude.
Oh no! Wait, can you do that?
I don't have any more cards. No.
Okay.
I shit you
Jesus.
not, bro. I was thinking about
Listen. I'm just here to remind us of what the mechanics are,
it.
so we remember all of the options that we have. Don't kill yourself over this.
Yeah. Just take your 2 victories and get the fuck out of there.
We got a machine gun.
We have a machine.
What was that?
You're about to cut the grass, so
All right.
Yeah.
DuPont, you take a deep breath. You have your grenades. You kind of hold them. You take one index finger takes a pin out of the other takes it out of the other. You kiss them, fucking throw them both in. There's a few seconds, and you just hear the beginning of an alarming kind of like sharp shout, and then there's an explosion. Your ears are ringing. You hear just the fragments of metal shattering, zinging off of stone. And in the brief moment, in that sort of brief lull right after that's happened, you kind of look over the edge and you see that the two cultists are the ones who were caught in the crossfire.
nice.
Cool. So this is honestly, this is a lot better because while they're timid about using guns, they can bring motherfuckers back from the dead. So this is great news for me. Archie's gonna beat feet and get out.
Excellent. I will
Beat them
say
feet.
that the Ottomans in here were really distracted by
Yeah, that's good.
everything going on, that they kind of don't register that you were there. All they know is that something happened, and they're a little less fucked than they were before.
I really like to think that one of them went, "That was mine."
I did it.
Hey, Archie, congrats. Draw 1 card per group of...
Let's go,
Cultists defeated.
Archie.
Oh my gosh. Yo, that's exciting. I love cards.
Draw your card, fucking book it, and you guys better come to a decision quickly because there's a large explosion that just happened.
Yeah, no, I think get back to the wall, get up here, I think we just need to start like spread. I think we just need to get you on this machine gun and possibly just making ruckus while the rest of the group. I think it's time to huddle up in formation and just fucking.
So they were drilling
Go.
in the tower, right? Or was there just like a lot of equipment in there?
No, they're drilling into the walls of the tower. You know, one of these old medieval sort of things. They got like the
Yeah,
double layered
so
walls
there's
and
nothing
shit.
going down below ground.
No, there's not.
Thank God. Okay, so here's what I'm saying.
This is good.
I think here's where our plan
This is
should
good.
be. I think what you need to do, because you heard a lot of sound coming from like the upper floors, right? It's time to turn that fucking machine gun and just paint the tower
Just
up top at the
Start
top.
going.
Just start going there. And I think the rest of us need to guns out, go through the courtyard, and I think it's time for us to just make a fucking siege mission. Just the rest of us to go in
Gung ho.
not necessarily go in, just carefully, and we need to get into that tower, secure it, and then I think if you notice activity coming from outside DuPont, turn that machine gun around toward the outside and start painting the walkway up. Just to like
I've got your I've got eyes on you. I've got your
We're definitely gonna like leave a guy with you so you have cover no matter what.
yeah. Like we're gonna leave. I think we should leave a guy with you,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll take, then Holder and I can take, because there's 5 of them, right? No, 4 of them. 4 of them. No, 5 of them because Galen's among them too. Does Galen have
4.
a
It was
weapon?
3 plus Galen.
3 plus.
3
Oh,
plus
4.
Galen.
That's right. Sorry, thank you. 4. So we'll take 3. So the 5 of us will. I think storm the tower is a good idea.
yeah, I think that is a good idea.
While you're painting up top, and if really, I'm gonna say, if there's any activity going on that gets in our way from like people on the walls, people on the towers, I think you need to just start fucking. And I think
Mowing folks down.
Holder, our mission should be get the spear and go.
Go.
Like don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
linger.
100%.
Like yeah.
So I just had a thought. So we had because we had an estimation of about 20 soldiers, I started thinking about this. So the floor was riddled with Ottoman soldiers on the base floor. There were 3 up on the second floor. There were 2 that were in costumes, and then there was another one from the first time that Fink found a body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get an estimation of just how many Ottomans we're about to run into, and like, if we can, just like thinking about this.
Well,
if we can
also
clear out
about
that
2
space,
or 3 on every main road, watching the roads.
and about 2 or 3 on every main road. So they're
So
probably going to
3
be,
roads.
they're probably coming back right now. So I think we've got a bit of a timer.
We got a bit of a
before
timer.
before the others
Yeah.
have their reinforcements, basically.
Yeah.
So I think we
Especially with that
really do.
explosion.
Yeah, especially with the explosion, we need to act fast.
Yeah, I think you getting here and you just painting the tower and then us going in hard, guns blazing, taking out anyone in our way, and you using the machine gun to just capitalize on, just helping us. Great.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That sounds good. That sounds solid. Y'all ready?
No, but I mean, like, honestly, like, this probably beats us trying to sneak around with an active attack going on this fort. So we might as well just seize the chaos and move. So I think that's what we're doing.
Take advantage of the confusion while it's still there.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
One of the Midos residents stays behind to back up DuPont to kind of give him, backup, make sure nobody sneaks up on him, so on and so forth, help reload the machine gun, etc., etc. He doesn't speak a lick of English or French, but I mean, you guys can get along just fine. There are more important things to deal with. The rest of you, it is quick, it is easy enough, it is fast enough to very quickly cross that courtyard and get into the tower. You see exactly what DuPont saw. You see the ground floor littered with bodies, this heavy machinery drilling into the walls here and there, the spiral staircase leading up. On the second floor, whatever the Ottoman soldiers that DuPont reported aren't there at all. You see the corpses of the 2 cultists sort of kind of embedded with shrapnel here and there, gruesome in the way that only people who are attacked with explosives. But
Fink's not looking at that.
as you sort of continue up, you don't luckily for you all, you don't have to make any stealth rolls because there is still very heavy fighting coming
Oh, we're
from
not
the
stealthing,
third,
yeah.
coming from the third floor. And the
Yeah.
third floor is the last floor before the roof itself, or the very top of the tower. And so as you guys continue up the spiral staircase, as the first of you kind of take a look over the railing into the third floor proper, you see just a mess of people, just this amazing chaotic just battle, this just complete anarchy that's going on. You have a number of Ottoman soldiers grappling with what look like the cultists in the uniforms. You see what looks like an Ottoman officer who is almost like reaching into a hollow wall, like a wall that has been blown open. He's kind of reaching behind it for something, and you see a cultist that looks as though they're adorned with far more like talismans, tattoos, just this amount of paraphernalia that is striding forward towards that Ottoman captain. And you also see there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Is there a window nearby?
There are a number of windows, actually. I'll say there are probably 3 windows on either side of this sort of circular floor, the circular chamber. All of them are full of cannons, artillery. 3 pointing out towards the water and 3 pointing out towards the town.
Fink is going to go to a window, and just because he's Australian, he can probably do this. He is going to give the sharpest whistle he can muster, and to tell DuPont, paint the third floor now.
Like he's gonna, no questions, just action. He's gonna go for it.
Even if the bullets don't penetrate the tower, I feel like the sudden, active shelling of a building might frighten the people within it enough for us to then begin getting kind of like a jump on them, which by going in hard.
Yeah.
But if the bullets do penetrate the building, great for us.
You have
very least it could go through the window.
How many pips of training do you have in ranged?
I got 2.
Okay. Roll me a D100 / R D100.
Oh,
that's
16.
The fuck?
16.
Is that good or bad, Alice?
I mean, it's better than 20, isn't it?
Fair.
2 pips of training, better than 20. You rolled under it, baby. So I will say that kind of, you hear that whistle, you hear that piercing whistle, and fuck it, DuPont. You go to town. You pepper. We going hard.
Bro, we ball.
You sweep the top row of the top floor of the tower. This sort of machine gun is kind of rattling this rhythm on your bones and your teeth. You can barely hear anything anymore. The Midos man beside you, he's just feeding you belt after belt of ammunition. And luckily for you all, 2 of the people in here do actually get caught by some of the bullets. So they are, the cultists are down 1 and the Ottomans are down 1.
I think it's time for us to go in and just start popping off shots.
And I think it's also time for us to perhaps come to a stop.
Yeah, no, I think that's exactly the right place to stop. That's great. Holy shit.
So laying down that covering fire, the others in wait. Sorry, you were saying something, DuPont?
Can I just mention that this has been the most fun that Archie has ever had. He hasn't had a chance to use one of these yet, but man. Oh, man.
Baby, you can't fucking feel your face or your arms anymore. You can barely, feel, you can't hear anything, but holy shit, you are going ham.
DuPont is just like, this is better than smoking, and I don't smoke.
I am become death.
This is better than sex. Just going crazy.
Homie
don't love no more.
Homie, just fucking.
All right.
Homie don't love no more. Homie only hates.
All right. So
Okay.
as the high caliber machine gun bullets penetrate here and there, you see these sparks of dust flying through the walls, flying from the stonework on the opposite side of the room, and you lot lay in wait on the spiral staircase, ready to jump into the frame. And I think that's where we will leave it.
Good.
And we will jump right
Oh my god.
into combat and figure out what the fuck is happening and detangle
That
all
went
of this next
so much
time.
better. than I
next
thought it
Friday.
would.
So
Next Friday.
thank you for watching, and we will see you next Friday for whatever happens next.